Peace and blessings, family. I am Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits. Welcome. It's Tuesday. It is the first Tuesday after this fall equinox. Let's just make sure that you all can see me clearly and hear me clearly. This is looking a little fuzzy on my side. How we doing? Good? When you tune in, y'all already know, drop them hearts because I love the love. Tonight's lesson, actually, we also want to drop some witch emojis in there. To shouts out to the mothers. Shouts out to the sacred and most powerful mothers. I took some notes earlier. I hope everyone has their water with them. Make sure everyone has their water and they're hydrated. If you had your water today and you on point with how much water you're supposed to intake, let me see some water emojis. I need a little piece of cloth or something. Is this like a little bit of glare? Y'all see some glare? I mean, I know there's some shine, but I feel like there's glare. Give me just a moment. We cozy. It's cuddle season. Let me wipe this off. Okay. Well, I guess that's from the light. See? Out of the light, I'm in the light. Out of the light, I'm in the light. It's all good. Oh, yes. Yes, shouts out to let me shout everybody out who's on their water. JW's on their water. Technique Twin is on their water. Jasmine, Tanil, Tahuti, Faye, Moyo. Hey. I am Arika. Hey. Nice. Everybody's water gang. All right. So, tonight's video, I want to talk about the gifts of sight and forward action. You know, it is Take Action Tuesday. I do have on my red. But honestly, it was the very last inspiration before I clicked let's go live. Okay. And when I'm doing a meditation before I come on here, to ensure that I'm tuning into information that's relevant to your lives, it's sort of like a dream. You know, when you're in the dream realm, you're doing all of these things. You know for a fact, like you've experienced an epic saga of some sort. It's like a movie. And then suddenly, just as you wake up, there's like this final message. And that is the thing that sticks with you. You wake up and you take that final message, and somehow that entire journey that you went on, it's gone. It's no longer relevant. It's wherever it's going to be, right? Whatever you had to do during that time, it has been done. But what you needed to retrieve and bring back with you to put into motion is the final thing that you take with you right before you wake up. Okay. And that is the way that we work in the astral realm. I want you to remember that, because sometimes it can be very frustrating when you're dreaming, you're doing your dream work, and you're like, but I know that I experienced all of these things, but I can't really streamline them together and give you all of it, just that last part. But that last part is crucial, because that last part means that whatever was happening there, this is the piece that bridges the gap between the unseen and the seen realm, and that's a key for you to act upon. Press 1 in the chat if that just helped you, like, relieve some stress, first of all. And how do you understand just the process of working in and out of the dream realm? Okay. So I want to thank them for that. All right. The next thing I want to thank them, the sacred mothers, for is the title of this video: Gift of Sight and Forward Action. So I want to center the information tonight on being in a state of crowned royalty. Okay. Imagine yourself sitting on a throne, much like, it's not really on purpose, but it always makes sense. So imagine that the same way you see this backdrop behind me, there are things that are unseen to those who are watching this video, but I'm aware of what's happening behind the backdrop because I'm crowned, I'm a priestess, and this is my realm, this is my throne. So, of course, I know what's going on behind the veil where many different rites have taken place. Okay. I want you to imagine yourself in this seat as you prepare yourself for meditation after watching this movie. After watching this video, I want for you all to take this information that I give you and apply it to a personal meditation. I'm always deeply vested in your up leveling and motivating you to just roll up out of your shell and roll up out of that skin each and every time it's time for you to grow with more ease. Okay, greater ease, bringing you into another state of satisfaction. All right, so let's begin there. When you're in this seat, you are looking straight ahead, looking things squarely in the eye. And from this position, one has to be alert but relaxed at the same time. The goal here is to be able to look at things with clarity and with poise. Okay, we are now in a time of year where seeing things as they are, this is the final quarter. Okay, final quarter means a lot to business owners. In the final quarter, it is necessary to review the fiscal year that has gone by so far, to see where to put your next investments in and where to pull some of your investments out. Okay? It's the time of year where you get really clear about what's working for the business of you and what is not working for the business of you. It is the time of year where you're not in a space, nor do you continue to have like the privilege of kind of trying to wait to see how it works out. Okay. And the only reason is because now grants you the ability to shift gears and prepare for the new year with greater ease. Okay. So, in order for you to prepare yourselves for the new way or the new era of doing things, you would need to lighten your load. Okay. The energy here is not aggressive. The reason why it's not aggressive is because there's been enough evidence, okay, of what it is that needs to fall away. So, unless you're locked into the mentality of victimhood, you are probably in a deep state of calm. And if you aren't, then I want you to check out that piece of victimhood when it comes to your circumstances at this point in time. Okay? Another example, you all know nature continues to provide us with infinite wisdom. The trees at this time do not force their leaves to fall. Okay? I want you to consider yourself in this position, right? If you're sitting on your throne, you're not in a position of taking a sprint. Okay? And when you're sitting on a throne, imagine that the things that need to be judged and to be dealt with come to you. You don't go to it. So, the same way that a tree is standing during this season of autumn, there is no fuss or fight between the leaf and the branch that's holding it. There's a moment of recognition, okay? A moment of reckoning that, okay, it's my time. All right. And whatever's there will fall away. And some of those things that will fall away will blow away and have nothing to do with the new growth in the spring. And some of what will fall away will fall close by, but will go into the hidden realm and provide support and nurturing for what's to come in the spring. But that's all decided in the moment that the leaves fall. So I want you to take that piece of wisdom from nature and I want you to tuck it into your plan and your planning as this final quarter is here and you are prepared to take forward action. Okay? Another piece that is important is that you want to weigh your debts. You want to weigh your debts to what is owed to you at this time. And the things that become debts are directly connected to what you have yourself put out into the world, okay, and taken from it. And then your credits are related to what you have put out into the world and what is going to absolutely come back rolling towards you. This piece is very individualistic. Community is absolutely important, but when you look at yourself right now as an individual entity, an individual system of growth, of generating wealth, of health, of well being, you have to check in with yourself. And everyone attached to you is a part of that business. But in respects to this type of introspection, you're the boss of it, right? I am the boss of my reality. I am the boss of my reality. And so everyone who's in it plays a part. As you're preparing for this final quarter, you want to look at things from a real lens and see where there are pieces that are pieces can be people, pieces can be activities that you do, pieces can be the kind of foods that you eat, pieces can include your fitness program, pieces can include your friends, your family, pieces can include your partners, your business partners, your romantic partners. There are pieces there that up until this point you may have struggled with wanting them to refine or reform themselves so that they can be in alignment with what is coming for you, for the credits you've incurred, for them to be able to receive them as well. It's like, don't act up because I know good things are coming and I want you to be part of it, right? But there's a differentiation between what you have done as an individual to reap the benefits of what you have put out into the world and what this individual who is the boss of their business, right, themselves, has put out into the world in order to receive in credits. At this point, as much as you want them to receive the credits of your goodness and your work that you have put out into the world, it'll only go into your account because it's in your name. And you then will be in a position to dispense those goods as you see fit. However, if that person or activity, let's say like you have an addiction to eating shitty food, or an addiction to drugs, an addiction to alcohol, an addiction to sex, an addiction to whatever, right? Like things, those types of other things. They're not just people, but they're activities, right? An addiction is sitting on your ass or sleeping too much, okay? If those things or people who match those frequencies are to be let go of, your credits come to you more easily, okay? Whatever you receive, because you've already released those things that do not serve the purpose of you receiving your credits, they won't receive the credits because it won't be around. So if you've cut those addictions, right, you'll receive greater credits into your life. And those credits can be coming in the form of wealth. When you receive that wealth, because you're no longer addicted to those drug dealers are no longer going to receive your money. Okay? You see what I mean? When you have people around you who want to stay in a funky type of energy, right? And then you are trying your best to reveal to them that it's important that no matter how much comes your way, that we have to be vigilant in choosing a higher and better vibration, choosing to be pleasant within ourselves, choosing to stay inspired, choosing to be motivated, choosing to stay focused. And they just want to stay consistent in that vibration of blah, right? There's a releasing that occurs that can then allow you to bask in the goodness of your pleasant energy, of how you're inspiring people, of how you are connecting with others, and how you are um, encouraging others to be just more powerful, right? And that person, they can't receive it anyway. Because if along the way they've chosen to not be able to get on the ride of that high, and that high is not something that just happens. It's not like, okay, I'm getting high, so like I'm just on this high. It takes commitment. It takes a sadhana. It takes consistent meditation. It takes eating the right things. It takes knowing when to take a break. Okay? Because we're not so linear. We're not just doing one thing in our lives and then creating certain outcomes. There's different parts that we have to be active in. And so if you recognize at this time as you sit on your throne, like mother, with the light shining on you so you can see, I want to also add that you are the keeper of what's behind the veil. So what the mothers revealed to me is that this is their high time where they start to really pick up, because the fall represents to us that in between the living and the dead. Press one in the chat if you are aware of this very sacred time. Okay? The living and the dead. That transition between serving a purpose for the living and being active and serving a purpose for the dead. One of the symbols that you can also utilize from nature is to go and find yourself a tree that may have been struck by lightning, or is just half dead and still alive. Okay? This is a sacred space. Those trees that are still standing in nature, that are half dead and half alive, you can tell by the quality of their bark that they don't really grow like leaves all over them, but they're still standing. And as they're standing, for those of you who have ever gone on a nature walk with me, I have I take some people to this portal where there's this tree that evidently has been killed by some strike of lightning, um, but it has an opening in it where soil has filled in. And then, of course, it still does have branches, but new life grows in the midst of it. There's grass all around it, but it's also dead. You all are familiar with the dryness, the dry look of the dead tree of the branch. Okay, yes. Okay. So the mothers, they collect at spots like this, and they are phenomenal beings, galactic beings. They are the most powerful beings in the galaxy. Okay? They govern themselves. They are completely sovereign, sovereign of God, sovereign of the rules, the laws. They absolutely do what they want. Okay? For uh for better definition, these are the highest ranking witches. Okay? And they have a role to play in whether things go well for you or things don't go well for you. No matter what you do, unless you show some act of recognition and honoring that they can and they will enjoy turning things upside down for you. Now, you may see it as an act of questioning whether you want something bad enough or not. And you may think it may be an act of the universe trying to give you a hint as to something's not for you. But that determination comes from the clarity of your Ori, okay? Your mind, your divine consciousness that is tapped in and tuned into the highest realm of knowing, so long as you can calm yourself to see clearly. The witch's sight, okay, when you are in alignment with the witch, okay, either because you are of them generationally or because you have done work to create a respectful connection with them, the witch's sight allows you to get glimpses, sometimes very clear, vivid pictures of what is to come, right? Where hindsight is 2020, foresight from a witch's view is everything, because then you can make decisions about things that can be rather complicated with greater clarity and calm, so that you don't create more chaos for yourself where you're starting to lose fire energy. Okay? As we lose fire energy, we have to tune into other elements to be just as effective in how we move forward, because we continue to walk this plane. Press 1 in the chat if that makes sense to you. So, what are some of the big things that will be themed during this time? As we just have crossed over via the equinox and we're moving towards this full moon in Aries, which I believe I should do a separate video to prepare for that. And I will do that this week. Okay. But we're moving now into a space of I. Okay. Where does the mind go when it is reflecting on itself? Who am I? And a bigger theme is what is fair? Not fair, FEAR, fair, as in, okay, I've been putting your energy here and I see energy coming back for me. That's fair and it's balanced, right? Where can you find, you have to be fair, right? So, where are you looking for something where you know it's not there? Okay, unfair expectations. Where are you looking to hold certain positions, but there is more learning to be had? Are you being fair with yourself? You know, if you want to go into a new career and you're thinking, this is something I want to do next, right? Like you've been called to, I feel called to do something else with my life. Like, it's not that I hate my job or my position, but something else feels like is out there for me and I'm starting to become interested in it. Well, how do you prepare for that in a way that's still balanced? Do you just call in and say, I'm not coming in, here's my 2 weeks notice? Or do you start to look for the classes that make that a real thing? Do you make a decision, right? To say, okay, let me reach out to a couple of these schools that are going to provide me the information that I need and the training that I need so that I can be successful in this new career. It's only fair that if I want to compete with people who have already been in this field, that I need to go and educate myself even further. I need to make that investment in a coach to keep me on task so I can get whatever needs to be done. I realize that I need some accountability. All of these kind of decisions need to be made based off of who am I and what is going to be fair to me in my next steps moving forward. What if your home is on the table? You want to move. You feel like you need to be in another place. Well, is it fair to you? Think about it. Is it fair to you to say, okay, I'm going to move tomorrow? No, because you still have to pack up your house. You still have to um, vet whoever you're going to sign a new contract with, right? Which brings me to the next thing. In all of your contracts, you want to review them now. Review them. Review the vendors you're working with. Review the groups of people that you are, you know, that are part of your clan. Review the relationships that you have or that you haven't even established yet, right? Contracts are in review. And this is not a Mercury thing. This is an overall energetic. And the contracts that are in review are for you to look at it from a place of clarity and what is fair. Okay? You may need to place someone in a different position than you thought you were supposed to have them in. You may need to step into another position than the one that you thought you should be sitting in. That can happen too. But that comes from going within and sitting and allowing yourself to tap in. And the more you go towards nature, like hot spots are like PowerPoints that I described so far, in order to make that connection Or like go and visit your Hecate tree. If you did the ritual work to work with Hecate, go and do that so that you can have the gift of sight and know where you need to take proper action. Okay? Y'all have any questions? I'm just going to check out the chat and see what's going on here. Oh, I see you, Dela. Anything to do with the brain, especially recovering from any types of surgeries or accidents regarding the brain, you can work with Ganesha to recover it. Okay, so if you feel like you're hitting a wall with your consistency, go back to the Ganesha lessons that are available and work with him. Oh, they just said I literally made a contract on this. Yeah, I told you I'll be seeing you out there. So if our foresight is off the charts now, that's a good thing. Yes, if your foresight at this time is off the charts, it is a good thing. It's a good thing because if you have the foresight and you don't act on it in the way that is fair, okay, and it's true to you, remember, this is not about them, this is about you. Then you set yourself up for double the dissatisfaction, double the disappointment. Okay. And I don't know, unless you're sadistic, it's not a good thing to have that foresight and to move inappropriately. Now, I ain't going to say that, it's always perfect, but seeing clearly sometimes is a challenge. Let me see. Oh, that's a very good suggestion. I've been noticing a residual CPTSD symptom I'm prepared to work through. Okay, okay. And Jonah, the mother showed up in my meditation. I have to practice on focusing. Yeah, for those of you who are starting to get these downloads, especially with the mothers, listen, really pay attention when they show up. Really, really. And for those of you who have mothers in your bloodline that show up in the dream realm, right now, they are coming with major downloads. And this all has to do with this final quarter before we shift into the new year with the winter solstice. Okay. And so I did mention witchcraft because what happens when the credits start to roll in? What happens when people take notice of how the world is starting to respond to all of the good deeds, all of the hard work, right? Is that folks will start to see that this energy of the evil eye picks up, okay? And evil eye is a sneaky thing that can come in not just from people, you all, not just from people, but the other energies that exist. Remember, we are here in a realm of polarities. If you look at some traditions, even when you are complimenting someone, you have to say things like mashallah, right? So that any energy that's around, when you notice something good and it's like, nope, I don't want it. I don't want it because it's not mine. Or sometimes there's an energy is like, nope, I don't want it because it's not yours. And that's not your intention. You have to use the charms of your incantations, of your spells, of your mantras in order to balance that energy out. Listening to the evil eye protections help you while you're out in the world, not just from people, but the energetics. Okay? And that's why I'm calling it witchcraft, because I mean, the rest of the world is going to call it witchcraft if they don't understand what it is. But I'm looking at how to create with the clarity of the witch's eye or the witch's sight. And remember that they are the ones who have the power to square up those types of energies over and above anything else. Okay? So you want to use some of the tools that are already in your toolbox. For those of you on Patreon, y'all know that y'all have unlimited access to the Evil Eye meditation. I will leave a note that the Evil Eye meditation in particular has some nuclear energy. So it's not something that you need to listen to every day. Okay? You listen to it, especially when you feel energy picking up in a certain way. And you can listen to it like once a week maintenance. All right. I will definitely listen to it through this weekend coming up. Okay. And once a week, yeah, Lady just said once a week. She said, please, only once a month, because man, yeah. So, like, unless you really in the pits, man, like, you don't have to listen to the Evil Eye meditation that often at all. She's right. She's right. It does a lot of cutting, blasting, and imagine like over cleaning. Did y'all see that glitch just now? I just want to know if it was just me. Press 1 in the chat if y'all saw that glitch. They be like, hold up. I've said enough. Okay. Now, for this week, y'all need some more likes as well. I see you got some new folks in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome in, welcome over here. All right. This week, I will be dropping some more meditations to prep you for this full moon weekend. All right. And they will be coming through sporadically. So don't worry. As long as you are on Patreon, you'll be able to catch it if you don't catch it live. And that's here for it, because it's going to be sporadic. It's totally going to be tuned with how I'm guided to share it. Another go-to. All right, because I like to just keep it fresh. One that I have been actually listening to myself pretty consistently, that has been quite a ride, is the Guru activation meditation. Yeah, that joint's something else. It's something else. I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn. Although I'm not just tooting my own horn. Like, I just want to thank my accompaniment. All right, for the fire that they dropped on that joint too. For those of you who caught that one, put some fire in the put some fire in the chat if y'all remember that. You making use of it too. Just for the newcomers, so y'all don't think I'm out here just sweating myself. Sweating myself like, yeah, girl, you did that. Yeah, Michelle, when you have both Patreons, like, you're in super luck, because you have an entire medicinal cabinet of sounds. Okay? You will have an entire medicinal cabinet of sound jars. And you will begin to learn how to wield them at will as needed. The same way you study herbs would be the same way that you go, I need this sound for this. I need this sound for that. Okay? The link for it is down in the description box below in this video. So when I'm finished, you'll be able to jump on there. All right. Do y'all have any other questions? Ashe technique, twin. They said they fell asleep to it and won a battle in the Astros, then woke up to a promotion. You feel me? You feel me? Like, you try to block my blessings. Nah, I earned that credit. Ashe. Can we get an Ashe for technique, twin? Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Light it up, light it up. Who else got something to celebrate? Let's throw some more Ashe out there. Let's celebrate people. Who got some good news? Who just got a new bag? We ain't got no evil eye over here. We're trying to celebrate. Turn that joint up. Who else got a promotion? I know somebody watching has got a promotion. Who else got it? Who just signed it on the dotted line and got confirmation it was received? Somebody moving. Got the new spot. Ashe. Ashe. Let's see. Let's Ashe this check. We got this big check for Jonah. Ashe to that. Everybody give Jonah some Ashe. It's Ashe the chat. Let's see. Levette, daughter, new car and cash. Bop. We got the new car, cash, money, no debt. Ashe to that. Ashe, no debt, no debt. Hey, we got another person who's being encouraged to take that step up. Ashe, Michelle. Get that promotion, honey. Get that promotion. All right, billionaire mystic. Yep, she got an end to that financial drought. Let that currency of water flow in. Ashe, turn up. Turn up, turn up. Y'all know I'm Jamaican, right? Yeah, no, say. Who else is Jamaican and know them out? Gotta do that. Yeah, no, say. I big tune that. Money I come, big money I come. Forward. Forward. Yeah, Lottie Shy, you know what I'm talking about. You know the mouth. You know the mouth drag. Yes. Got the settlements coming in. Yo, there's some big settlements coming too. All y'all, them settlements coming through. They're coming through, man. They're coming through. Okay? Ashe. So on that, we're gonna end this video on this high vibration. All of y'all doing a good job. I'm like trying to understand why my shirt is showing me that my shoulder is forward. So I'm gonna have to balance that out. I don't know if y'all know those kind of tricks to understand your structure. But yeah. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. So make sure your notification bell is on so that when I come on here randomly to drop another meditation, you don't miss it. Because it will not stay up long. Sometimes I'll leave it up there for a little longer, but it won't be up there that long. And before all this extra phenomenon starts going on, as I'm watching my screen turn into another background and coming back, I'm gonna roll out and see what they want to talk about. So I'll share with you later a little bit of that if it's allowed. And Yeah. Shouts out to you all. Thank you very much for staying magical. Peace, love, and bliss. I'll see y'all later.